Hi, welcome. This is Talk Nerdy to Me at Juvea Aesthetics with myself, Hanan. We're going to be talking about fillers today. Lip fillers, we're going to be very quick and very direct with the answers. What are lip fillers and what brands do we use? Lip fillers are hyaluronic acid that's cross-linked and used in the lips in order to create some contour volume, a little bit of both, maybe one or the other, generally speaking. The fillers that we use at Juvea are all Health Canada approved, and they are our favorite with great cross-linkage technology, so good for integration with the skin and low reports of complications or long-term migration. How long do lip fillers last? That is a question that cannot really be answered because it's very dependent on the client that's receiving the filler and the filler type. In Calgary, there's a lot of great fillers that we can use that are Health Canada approved to help with longevity and ease maintenance. But typically, we say 6 to 12 months you might need maintenance. So at Juvea Aesthetics and in Calgary in general, lip filler pricing varies quite a bit. The rule of the more you pay, the better the treatment is not necessarily accurate in our industry, unfortunately. However, at Juvea, we price our lip filler based on level of education with our injectors. This is something that you can specifically see in our bio. And of course, you can see our walls decorated with our certificates. When we talk about lip filler corrections or migration, there is a lot of misconception about migration. Filler doesn't magically move one day and decide, I want to go from here to there. However, there are some actions that we do, depending on the technique that was done and depending on the filler type and the cross-linkage technology, that could put you more at risk for migration. Just because you have migration, it doesn't necessarily mean that it was a technique problem. Could have been anatomy constrictions, filler type, but most of the time, when we see in clinic migration immediately after treatments, sometimes it is a technique problem. Fortunately and unfortunately, at Juvea Aesthetics, we are known for lip corrections. This doesn't necessarily mean, again, that your injector did a poor job before, but we really understand lip anatomy. We really go in depth. We've done tons of cadaver labs, specifically with lips, to really understand what varies from one lip to another with lip structures, anatomical differences. And this is where the filler matters and your injector matters the most. A lot of people think lip filler is the easiest treatment to do. It's actually one of the most difficult because there's a lot of variables involved. How much lip filler do you typically need? A lot of people think the bigger your lips are already naturally, the less you need. It's actually the opposite. You have more empty space. So in order for the treatment to really show some volume and structure, you might need close to a full. At Juvea Aesthetics, we really don't care and emphasize too much on the amount because we're a less is more approach type of mentality anyway. But most of the time, we are happy when we are done. So whatever that took, whether it was 0.825 or zero point 0.9 or zero point 0.7, if the results are great before the swelling kicks in, then we're happy, we stop, treatment's over. Lip fillers are 100% safe in safe hands, in educated, safe hands where your injector really understands the anatomical structure of your lip, but also where your arteries lie, the depth that we need to stay in to remain safe, et cetera, et cetera. All these factors really matter in lip techniques because, yes, you could occlude a very important vessel in a lip with poor technique and poor anatomy knowledge. And also, sometimes it happens to the best injectors, but how you handle that complication is everything. We find that's what this industry is lacking, a lack of emphasis on complication management 120% of the time, and also confidence of what that might look like. So your post-care after lip filler and what to expect with swelling, bruising, etc. Swelling and bruising typically won't happen right away. It kind of gradually builds up. The next day, the next morning should be the worst swelling you'll experience in that journey, and then it should go down from there. Anything that gets worse after that morning is a red flag. Please contact your injector immediately. Sometimes we do ask our clients if they are bruisers to send us pictures that night. This is how we do it at Juvea. And a lot of times we make sure that our clients know that we do want to see you back for a follow-up at the 2-week mark, not just for swelling and bruising to go down. We want to see the final result after skin integration. Skin integration is when the filler integrates really nicely with the skin and it looks less firm and more natural, or that is just where you're at with your result at that point. So what is the difference between a lip flip and lip filler? You guys, this is like, they're not comparable. They're not, I'm going to start that again. So what is the difference between a lip flip and lip filler? They are not comparable, not even close. A lip flip does something completely different than lip filler. A lot of clients are misinformed with social media, with a lot of comparisons. We can't even compare the two because they're completely different. They do different things. Lip filler will give you structural height. Lip flip will help eversion versus inversion of your upper lip. That is it. That's all a lip flip can do. So sometimes people are expecting lip filler results with a lip flip. No can do. Let's debunk the Russian lip filler versus classic filler. So when people talk about Russian lip filler, it's not a different type of filler, it's just a different type of technique. The true Russian lip technique is done very differently than what I've been seeing on social media. Very, very rarely is it actually appreciated and done conservatively for maximum proper long-term effect. However, too heavy of a Russian lip contour, yes, will always migrate at that 2 to 3 week mark, in my opinion. So at Juvea Aesthetics, we do lip fillers very custom to the client. We really assess in depth and want to get a clear understanding of what the structural anatomy looks like the best we can with your lip. So we really do a proper assessment. We make sure that we're ethnically appropriate. We also make sure that your goals are realistic. That is number one. There's only so much that you can stretch the tissue safely when it comes to lip filler. So we make sure that we are on the same page when it comes to that. And then also, we do believe if we're looking for a good growth of lip volume, and if your face can tolerate that, we do believe in slow wins the race, essentially. So it might take a few appointments, but it will always leave you with great results. And we follow up very closely. We make sure that all of our clients are happy with their treatment, and we're happy with their treatment as well. So at Juvea Aesthetics, one thing that we really emphasize is education. We make sure that all of our practitioners are literally going to do continuing education multiple times a year. And this is very important in our industry because one, it's forever growing, but as well, it's really important to stay in check and to really understand and continue practicing anatomical understanding, such as cadaver labs, because that is how you keep a disciplined eye, in my opinion. And again, less is more. So that's one thing that we do here. The easiest way to see our practitioners at Juvea is to book online or give us a call, and we would be happy to book you in. You can also email us or text.